Hello and welcome to ModSpots, the mod review and tutorial show. I'm BonBonB and you're very welcome. Well, if you're new to modding or new to this series, I highly recommend you click the link in the top right hand corner and go and watch the first 90 seconds of episode 1 of this series. It covers a whole bunch of disclaimers and warnings that I don't want to repeat every single week. Once you've watched the first 90 seconds, come back and join the show. So what have we got this week? It's the 81 tile mod by BloodyPenguin. Now, some people would say it's a somewhat controversial mod. I would say it isn't. I would say it's a perfectly excellent mod that helps you expand on your game horizons. We will get to that shortly. Let's first of all open up the toolbar and come up into the tile view. Now, to get hold of the 81 tile mod, you can click the link to it in the description down below. That'll take you onto the Steam Workshop, or obviously just search it up on the Steam Workshop, whichever you prefer. Then once you've opened up the workshop page, click subscribe. Then wait a few moments for it can load into your system. Then open up the game, go to the content manager, click mods, find the 81 tile mod, click enable, and then you can launch the game and your mod will be active. So what is the 81 tile mod and why should you use it? Well, the game itself has a playable area of 25 tiles. It's 5 tiles by 5 tiles, within which in vanilla mode you can only buy 9 of them. Why? Well, the answer to that is the Unity game engine. You see, the Unity game engine has some hard coding limits. There's a maximum number of buildings that you can have, a maximum number of nodes and segments you can have. Basically, pretty much everything that has a count has a maximum number, with the one exception being the trees, but we'll talk about that in another show. So, Colossal Order was very aware when they started coding the game that if you were to try and fill 25 tiles with buildings, roads and such, you would run out of buildings or roads, and that is not a good thing. When you're playing a game, you don't want to come up against an error message saying, sorry, no more. So what they've done is they've limited the game to 9 tiles. Now, 9 tiles is great. 9 tiles enables you to build a very solid city, lots of planning, and you can produce something really very nice indeed. But some of you might want to expand even further. You may want to do a series of smaller conurbations, or just have a greater plan for your map. You may even want to access parts of your map that you cannot access because they are outside of the 25 tiles. Well, there's pluses and minuses for that, but we'll get to that a little bit later in today's show. So, how does it work? Well, now that we have enabled the 85 tile mod, the 81 tile mod, not the 25 tile mod. That is vanilla within the game, obviously. All you do is you can click on, once again, I'm playing with unlimited funds. You click on the tile that you would like to buy. We're going to buy this one because it's completely useless. You're in this gameplay situation, which is of course St. Catherine's Point. After the start square here, you would almost certainly want to buy into this tile, possibly this little tile down here, maybe that tile up there, but very unlikely. Definitely wouldn't want to buy this one. So how do you buy your 81 tiles? Well, you would click on the tile you want to buy and click on purchase, as you would do normally within game. To do that 81 times or 80 times, because you already own the one, it takes a little bit of time. There is a shortcut, and it took me the longest time to realise this. So if you haven't realised this, you are in very good company. I'm in that group with you. I discovered it about a year ago and I felt very foolish. So yes, what you do is you go to the gear button in the top right hand corner, click that, go to options, and then in the left hand side here you've got a list of all of your mods, all of them there. Choose the top one, or the 81 tile mod, switch between them. There you go, the 81 tile mod there. Unlock all tiles for free. If you do that, it will literally go across the entire map. Let me close down these windows if I can. Thank you. You can see it unlocking the entire map here. in one button press. So we could have done it one tile by one tile by one tile, but here, just give it a few moments and it's going to unlock the entire map. So the advantages and disadvantages of having the entire map unlocked. A few people will tell you, well, it's going to really be a strain on your engine, on your processor. That is not the case. That is not the case. See, this entire map loads in one chunk. Nothing new is loading in here. It's just unlocking everything. One of the advantages to unlocking everything is if you're just out. So let me come back into this mode down here. Let's say we were over here in this area here, and the edge of the tile was at this point. These tunnel entrances, they wouldn't be rendered. There are different things that do not render outside of the tile that you are playing. So these would look awful. Being able to unlock everything means that you can see everything in the full glory that it's supposed to be. That become up here. So this map was built around the 25 tiles. So the buildable area is pretty much, well, what you see there is pretty much the buildable area, and it's probably about 4 or 5 tiles. That's my own map. I deliberately built it this way, and then I've made it so that players using the 81 tiles have access to some mainland, large chunks of land across the mainland, and you've got this extra buildable area out here. Now, if you're playing in vanilla mode, you can't access this area. This area over here is completely out of reach of you because it's out of the 25 tiles. Lots of lovely prime building space down here, of course. But the 81 tile mod, you couldn't use this. Now, a lot of maps are built deliberately so that all the interesting areas are within the 25 tiles. One of the I need to switch the fog on, don't I? Let me switch the fog on. Goodness me. Options. Different mod will be showing you at another date. There we go. Now the fog is back on. So what would normally happen is you wouldn't be able to see the horizon like this. You would have the fog on, and then as you get out of the 25 tiles, it gets foggier and foggier and foggier to try and discourage you from building out here because it becomes too cloudy. If I go to across to the mainland, and then if we were to drive through the fog towards the edge of the map, it just gets you wouldn't be building out here at all. So that is a disadvantage of the 81 tiles. If you don't have the mod to switch off the fog, then that becomes a restriction. But if you're going to be playing with the 81 tiles, being able to switch on and off the fog would, I would say, be an essential feature. And that is about it. That is kind of everything that you're going to need to know. It's a simple one-click unlock process to access the full 81 tiles of the map, to get access to all the nooks and crannies. The only main disadvantage is you will not be able to fill the map with a glorious megacity that covers every single square meter of the map. You can't do it. Honestly, you cannot do it. You can still make a large city, you can build beyond the 9 tiles that you would normally be doing to a good size, but you will hit the game hardcode limits. But that's it. That's the only drawback of the 81 tiles, and I highly recommend getting hold of it. It's very unlikely to break your game. On a scale of 1 to 10, will the 81 tile mod break your game? A 3 out of 10. If we're unlucky with an update, there is potential that you might possibly break your city, but it's a low chance. Literally only a question of if you are, I would suggest if you are building outside of the 25 tiles and something goes wrong with the 81 tile mod and you cannot get to that area again. That's about the only problem that I can foresee with this particular mod. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. If you've got any mods that you'd like me to cover in this series, do let me know in the comments down below. I've got a whole bunch I want to be cracking on with in the coming weeks, but please let me know if there's anything that you need covering, and I'll try and get around to them as soon as I can. I've been BonBonB. Thanks for watching. You've been very, very welcome.